Today, we're gonna have some fun. It's Factory Fridays today. It's not a new thing. It's not an old thing. It's something that we've done before, I think, where we've built cars. Today we're gonna build a car. We're gonna go to the workshop on the other side of the wall here, and gonna do this car conversion. I think I got it all set up. Just go in there and work on it. So I turn the lights on and stuff. Oh, I got coffee. Where the hell's my coffee? I'll have to go retrieve that. Gonna have to retrieve that coffee. In the meantime, you guys just go ahead and check out this project area here we got. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a pretty standard RC10B6.1 and we're going to convert it into a Pro Street drag racer like we've done in the past. We're gonna need a short course chassis and a two-wheel drive buggy. Pretty much that's it. Everything else is like a what do they call that? User preferred setting. Yeah, they call that user preferred set. Out of the way. This shouldn't be here. I think the first thing we should do is take these tires off. So I will need a wrench for. Alright, here we go. Standard Tamiya wrench. Gotta have it. Can't not have it. So what we'll do with this is we'll take our tires off. Start with the front. That's what the bag was for up there. Whoa. Drop it. No big deal. Pull that bad boy off like so. This will make it easier to like maneuver around the car and stuff like that. These aren't very good tires. These are just tires that I use. Seems like my cameras might have froze. Or there's a really bad delay. One or the other. I think my cameras froze. Alright, so they're working now, I think. So, tires off to the side. Don't need those. These are just, my buddy's like, oh, if you're going to show it off, you should have the tires on it. Yeah, whatever. These are J Concepts, whatever they are. Hotties. These off into the side. Oh, that goes on the back axle here. Always try and replace screws and bolts and nuts to where they were removed from, if you can. Doing so will save you a headache. Otherwise, there's other tricks that I can show you too. I just don't have them out on the table right now. You probably know them if you're looking at people building stuff. And if you don't, just ask, I'll show you. You see I got this power tool here too. Woo! Probably use that a little bit. So, got to remove this top piece. Some metric tools. sockets and Allens for projects like this. I don't know, whatever car you're using, this is a pretty regular formula for this type of project. You take a two-wheel drive, whatever it may be, and you just stretch it out or make it pro streety, so to speak. So these go with our new chassis. I don't really know how they go yet, so we'll worry about that once we get the front and rear end in the right spots. So I like how we got these servo mounts. We didn't get those in our previous batch of parts. You can see them right here. These are the servo mounts. This is where your steering servo will go and attach into a car. This is where a plate you can either affix from the bottom with 4 screws, where you would put your electronics like your speed control and possibly receiver, and then your battery would go here, motor, and obviously the drivetrain area. So we're not using this area here. We already have that settled. What we're doing is taking the front and the rear and then transferring over to a longer chassis. So let's go ahead and get started with that. 2mm. So what I'm going to do is, I've never worked on this car before. This car is new to me, so I'm going to start stuff with my hand to make sure I don't strip it. I'm going to switch it over to my power tool. This is old school Black & Decker. My main concern is when you're using a tool like this is it has a clutch system like this. If it doesn't, you can mess stuff up. So if you have one with a clutch, great. They're like, this one was $20, but the $20 ones now don't have a clutch. The $120 ones have a clutch now, which, you know, I recommend having the $120 one because it probably matches your Milwaukee set and you have a charger for it already. You don't have to do anything stupid. So just a recap here. Oh, yeah. And we're gonna get no X's, hopefully not crash or spin, hopefully not get crashed into or spun, and hopefully not crash into anyone else or spin them. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, not so most of the front end of screws, and most of the screws on this car are going to be a 2mm or 5/64th. If you don't have 5/64th, I guess. Ooh, man, these things are tight up in this bulkhead. I have other parts too, so it's not a big deal. I have other bulkheads. I have other whatchamacallit, I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm removing this bulkhead here, and this holds the hinge pins, the inners for the front suspension. So they're just tight and they're long into this plastic. But as soon as it comes off, they're off. I should have done these ones first, probably. But see about taking the tires off, how much easier it is to maneuver the car around without the extra weight and the extra tire action. Trusty Black & Decker over here. See if we can get these things rolling quicker. Welcome to the workshop where I keep my 3D printer and all my old trophies and all the stuff I don't use. All my RC cars that we build live here. We don't race them anymore because there's not much of that going on. Well, there is, but alright, so there's the mid chassis screws. I'm trying to organize this here. You can't really see, but if you can. So as I'm taking them off, this is the front two, this is the middle two, and then I know these are pivots, so I'm going to keep these separate too and in the same kind of like arrangement. I'm keeping my thumb, oop, these are short. Hopefully they're not busted. I'm keeping my thumb on the gearbox here, or my finger underneath, so as to try and hold it up so when it finally does come apart or come off the chassis, it doesn't like all fall apart. It will anyway, because it's just the way it is. 2 more screws. Comes right off. And we can move it right over to the new car actually. We don't even have to mess around. We can just do it like this. Watch this. I'm going to grab these things together like this, all in one piece. Our chassis is gone. I'm going to blow on it a little bit. Giving me trouble. Why wouldn't it? Just a little further up here. There we go. A little off on this rear pivot. I gotta get it to line up. There's pins. There they go. They're locked in place. Close up. Oh my. Might have to take a break to take the dogs out. Okay, so this was the middle to the pivot. So I'm going to clean these up a little bit. Let me just try and put it together with what I got before I start replacing stuff. That was my original plan. So I'm going to put these in this hole, like so. I'm going to dig in there right now. So I've got a manual. This is also something that you'll need, because like you're not a RC god like me. You need to refer to the manual from time to time. We need to go all the way to the part where we put the rear end together. So past this part. Past this part. Oh, here we go. M3 by 16. So M3 by 16. Let's find these on our chart here. You got a gear chart here, or a hardware chart. So we want M3, so that would be flathead 3 by 16. You can match them up here. Where are those 2 stupid screws? So one of them is correct. The other is not. This one is short. So we need to get our hardware over here. Get the correct one times 2. Because we got new hardware. Let's use it. Right? Perfect. Put this stuff in this old chassis. It's like I'll typically keep old stuff together because I know it's old, and then I can maybe make it into a new car at some point. What's this crud? What's this stuff from? I don't know right now. I don't know Wheresville. We'll figure it out. Everything will get the right screw. We'll just go ahead and re-tap and check everything out underneath. Get these things started up here. And we'll move on to the next part and make sure we have the right screws. I can just use new hardware now. That's fine. So let's get this piece out here again. So nice having a whole car. So these are all M3 by 10. in the middle. So M3 by 10 times 4. Not that one. So this one. So these are all good. I can reuse these. I just need to find the other one. It's not this one. I lost one somewhere. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, we'll reuse these. These were underneath the cover, so we know they're in good shape. All right, let's use our tool. Yeah, a little off here. Wait, do they just not go in there? No, they just don't go in there. It's a different chassis, maybe. So here, here, we need two more up front there. And that's the front of the chassis. Oh, that's from the front end. That's top, bottom, and then middle here. So that's all front end stuff. Not this one. One more like this. There's a lost one. Hey, it happens. Oops. So we'll use the tool, and I've got the clutch set to the softest setting. Because like I said, this isn't really my car. I don't own it. Well, I own it now, but I didn't build it. I've got extra parts, so I would do it like this so you align everything. When you're tightening it, it will line everything up better as opposed to like maybe pinching one end down. Just like you do a car tire. Pretty much want to do that anything. Evenly distribute that pressure. I mean, I could just use whatever, but I want to make sure that I use something comparable. So you lay down chassis brace 91709. So you're attaching it here to the transmission. Okay, M3 by 10. So there's the front two, and then the waterfall. So it's on the same page, M3 by 10. Sorry, folks. I'm going to use two new ones. The new style. This is really going to not take very long. I don't know if you guys were aware of this or not. This is not a hard project. This is very easy. I recommend anybody that has one of these cars sitting on the shelf, find somebody that wants to buy it and get them out drag racing, or get yourself out drag racing. See me. I'll help you get started drag racing. No big deal. I got a whole section on the Discord. Talks specifically about model car racing. Hell, I'll meet you at the track. Just depends what track. And how I get there is, I guess, important too. Alright, so there's our waterfall. Hand tight. I'm going to go through and I'm going to hand tighten all these screws on the bottom here. Finger torques is what we call it. I'll start here at the front. I'm going to go here to the back. I'm going to go up to the middle, to this pivot that I never really tightened in the first place. I'm going to go back to this part. This is the pivot. Back up to this part of the pivot. Some dog hair up on this thing. Here. Here, that's the front of the gearbox. Here's the middle of the gearbox. Should be the last part. Nicely done. We'll have to take this all apart because like this, the pivot, the toe and anti-squat and everything here in the pivot. So you can see the toe will be the inner part here going to the inside and the rear going out. We'll adjust the wheel like this. This squat is the front part going upwards and downwards. So like I'll adjust all that and stuff for drag racing, make it more flat and more plain so it's not like affecting the drag of the wheel rotation, you know, the tire and stuff like that. Whoa. So the rear end's done. Oh, actually, wait a second here. Thank you, Wolf Girl. That's good advice. Here's my 2 mil, so I need to get these up out of here. These are the servo mounts again, like I said, nice factory team ones. None of that plastic stuff. That blue aluminum looks real cool. Leave that there. Alright, so that's done with that for now. I think I'm done with that for good. I'm just gonna partially thread these in here. Oop, probably smoked your mic there, or your ears. Sorry about that. Feel free to look into our Discord. I will be making sure that I post some pictures of this and everything like that in the model racing section. I'll also probably post some highlights onto YouTube or something like that. So like I said, really easy. Get yourself a two-wheel drive car. Find the compatible, it's better if it has a compatible like short course chassis because usually they will line right up. The TLR has the TLR 2.0 or 22 or whatever, and then they have a short course version. Like I did another car, that's the exact same thing. You can see some highlights on YouTube and also in the Twitch of that. And it's real simple. You just take the front end and rear end, put it off, figure out a way to mount a body to it, done. That stuff's easy. If you have this car, you should be able to do that. Or if you have access to a car like this, you should be able to do that. I have faith in you. And I have faith in your ability to find the right instruction manuals or the right instructive personnel. Alright, so I guess this goes in the front one, of course. Whoop. Dropping stuff that we need. No bueno. Whoa! Drop it again, and I'll just use this. This will give me a better bite on it. Oops. Popped it right off there. You know, in this situation, I'm going to show you a tip, a little trick. So that way you're not goofing around trying to thread this tricky thing in there. Take another screw, the same size, with a more manageable head, like this right here, and then pre-thread this. You can, I mean, even use a shorter one, but yeah, just pre-thread it so you get a nice bite on it. Nothing weird going on there. Boom. Not too far. Then our guy is pre-threaded and should slot right in there. Should be able to do it by hand. Beauty. Beauty. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Take our pre-thread screw. I've shown this tip several times because I'm a dork and I come up with ways to do stuff like this. That's not being a dork, just being scientific about the things that you do. And this is actually referenced in the instructions because Team Associated is also scientific. Right, so that in there. Right, so we definitely want to thread them in more. Oops. Sure, that's probably good enough. Boom. Like that. You got a battery in your car. Battery in the car, battery go nowhere. Alright, let's get it out of there though. We don't need it in there anymore. Batteries are a potential fire hazard, so use them according to your safety procedures and policies of wherever it is that you're using them, as well as your home or your workshop, wherever you're storing them. I use a fire safe. If something happens to them, the fire will get put out. There we go. Perfect. In storage. All right. So let's go to our front end instructions here, and I want to put the new bulkhead screws in here. So I want M3 by 14. Yes, sir. So once again, I'm going to take a smaller M3, this one right here, and I'm going to thread these with this before I put those long ones in there so they get started nice and easy. Everything goes in there nice. I can add all types of weight plates to these cars too, which is kind of cool for drag racing. You can put a front plate here. I have an extra pivot plate that's aluminum. It's a big chunk I could put in the front if I want, which I'll probably do eventually. It's something I wanted to do with the other car. I'll probably definitely be doing it with this car. This car is going to have shorter suspension than my old car, so it's going to be it's going to react a little differently to a lot of the stuff that we do. So I'll have to kind of redo everything a little bit. Not bad, but it goes like this, I think. Show you here. So it sandwiches in between, just like how we took it off. Just like that. So then our long screws go in here like this, that we've just pre-threaded. We don't want to tighten anything down yet, we just want to get it in place. Nice and easy here, those things thread in there perfect. Pro tip. Alright, so now we need to just get our screws for the front together here. You can always, like I said, oh wait, here it is, page 6 is in the front. They are M3 by 16, so you need 4 M3 by 16s. I mean, I guess I could have just looked online really quick, but then I wouldn't have realized that my camera froze again, and I need to go fix it. M3 by 16. DR10M 6.1 drag project is just about done. Just looking for a couple of screws here, probably in my box. So I got this box of stuff over here for building this car. There are some parts available and some parts that are new, used. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple. There's a couple that we need. There should be a couple more like that. So let's just verify here that these are correct. Well, these might be the 18s. No. 16s. These two are 16s. There should be a couple more somewhere. I just kind of started bagging stuff up because I didn't want to lose it. So I probably got them over here with everything that I've got. Everything that I got is over here, so let's make it happen. I got a lot of screws. There's two. There's one more. That's too long. This is too long. That's 18. There it is, right? No, that's crazy long. There we go. Perfect. Eventually, these are all just going to go into the same bin anyway because they're all the same hardware. Nothing really new or different here. Okay, so we'll get that out of the way so it doesn't fall over, and we'll start putting screws in the bottom here. So, putting our thumb and our forefinger on this bad boy here. So, the first two, the bottom here. Right, isn't that how it goes? Yep, first two in the bottom. So hopefully everything's going well. I'm going to eventually change these arms too because I got clean arms. Not that it matters that they're clean or not, but I just want to make sure this is lined up before I start putting the torques to it. Alright, I'll do the rest by hand. Plastic is okay for now, but we'll redo this whole thing because like I gotta set user preferences and stuff like that, and we don't know what those are just yet. Yeah, this is a better bumper, and I might even put a short course bumper on it. Hmm. short course bumper, what it will allow you to do is possibly have body mounts and like support for the front bumper. All right, you guys ready? It's done. Yeah, that's it right there. There's your car. Drag racer. Put the tires back on, see what it looks like. Here they are. Gotta have the right tires, like the guy said. These are heavy. These are J Concepts Hotties, just the standard model. We have all types of different models, but I was happy to find out that these just work. The axles are set. Everything's cool. What side does this say? Driver's rear. So this would be the passenger side. These are goofy wheel nuts. But you know what? Mission accomplished. Job done on that. I got two different wheel nuts in the rear. That's why it felt weird. Oh well, we'll fix that. That's an easy fix. So this car should be even better than our first concoction. So if you're watching, write this down. Yeah, none of this stuff is set yet. This needs user preference adjustments. But there we go, baby. That's a drag car right there. Oops. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like it. Kind of see how it lines up. It lines up really good. Actually, really, really good. What's this for? What's this from? Oh, empty bag parts. I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks really, really good. Oh, that's why this stupid chassis is on here. Wonder why it was all weird. So yeah, it's gonna stay low on the. So I'm gonna make it as low as I can. So I'll have some type of a support that goes from the rear wing mount all the way to like this back deck somehow, which is really close anyway. It's not that far of a stretch. I've got ideas. I've got things that I can do. Wolf Girl, you crazy. That's gonna make it official. We did this car. Like I said, it wasn't gonna be long. It'd take about an hour and a half to explain it to you. What we did was we took an RC10B6.1. We took the chassis of an RC10 SC, right? An SC or an RC10.6.1 SC, which stands for short course chassis. I'll put the part numbers in the description. And we took the two and we combined them. So we took the front end and the rear end off the RC10B, put them on the SC platform or chassis, and we make this stretch